Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Slayer Talk. Oh, a little bit extra.
What happened?
A little bit extra of our theme song. Welcome back to Slayer Talk. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my wife Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. I don't know what it is. Let's say it's the 29th. I believe
I think it is the 29th.
29th of February.
I think it's leap year.
Leap Day.
Yeah.
It's
Happy leap day.
Yeah, happy
Birthdays.
leap day, everyone. Happy leapers. Happy quantum leapers. In a way, being born on leap day is like traveling in time.
Sure, because you always get to be younger than you are.
Yeah, exactly. But Carol, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are any of us?
Yeah. Did you swap bodies with somebody else?
Do you think so?
Was someone else of equal or greater hotness?
That is a definite equal or greater hotness situation
I
between
think so,
these two.
yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on your taste. Like, they're both super hot.
Yeah.
I'm sure people will probably have a preference, and it would vary.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's a real Betty and Veronica situation. I go more towards Veronica.
So you like Faith better than Buffy?
Yeah. Well, I think I probably like the character of Buffy better.
Well, yeah.
But I think that Faith is very like a whisker hotter.
I agree. So this was a continuation of last week's episode where Buffy and Faith switched bodies.
Yeah, a time when you really needed the previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right. This was an amazing episode. I feel like it really highlighted the acting skills of both Sarah Michelle Gellar and Elijah Dushku.
Yeah. What do you think that is? The Croatian?
I don't know. It's an interesting name.
Yeah.
She does look Croatian, so that would make sense.
Yeah. How do you look Croatian?
Eastern European.
She does look Eastern European, yeah. I don't know if I would say it was an amazing episode.
Well, I didn't like the ending. The ending was pretty disappointing, but I mean, like, I feel like their acting abilities were really highlighted.
I think it's a decent episode, and yes, I think that especially Elijah Dushku gets a little bit of play here. Spoilers for most of the episode. She's locked in the back of an armored car.
Yeah.
So we don't see her that much. She does kind of nail the Buffy afraid face with the wide eyes.
Yeah.
she does that pretty well. But yeah, you can see that face in the theme too in the opening credits. Yeah, I think it's the part where let's say I think it's the part where it's like I think it's that part.
Okay.
But yeah, it's after the spider. You can see her make that face of like, I'm afraid. And I think she studied that. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who gets more play in this, is fucking amazing at even like subtle things, like the way she walks. Mm-hmm. She walks like Faith does.
Yeah, she does a little like shimmy with her shoulders at one point that Faith would have done when she was like she didn't quite know what she was talking about. She's like, okay, I'm going to pretend. It's like a move you've seen her do a bunch.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like I think she went back and looked at tape or whatever, but she really gets it down.
Yeah.
And the looks, the mannerisms, the cadence of delivery, all that stuff. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Faith gets a character arc here.
Yeah. She grows.
It's interesting.
I'm glad of it because I kind of like her character, and I didn't like that they made her all evil and awful.
Yeah, it felt sort of forced. Not to like. I'm sure we'll go plot point by plot point or whatever at some point. But I want to talk about and I think this is because this ties into the acting ability too. She has like a motif throughout the episode of because it's wrong, and when she's pretending to be herself. Yeah, that's the wire
Sorry, guys.
scraping against the microphone there. When she's pretending to be Buffy in the mirror, she's like making a bunch of faces and stuff like that, and like practicing things that she would say, and she's like, no, I can't, and like, and she does the because it's wrong, like a bunch of different times in the mirror. And then in the episode, she encounters Spike.
Yes, this is awesome.
Gives a different version of because it's wrong. She meets Spike at a bar, and she doesn't know exactly who he is. And she's doing this thing and everything, and they're like going back and forth, and she's like, you know what, Spike? And you would do it better than me. Go ahead. Paraphrase what she said to him.
God, I don't know. She was being flirty.
Yeah.
I
would say so.
She talks about like dominating him and stuff, and like
squeezing him. She's like,
oh yeah, she's gonna squeeze him until he pops.
Yeah, and then begs her to hurt him more.
Yeah,
and she says something like, she's like, I've got muscles that you've never even heard of, or whatever.
Yes. It was pretty amazing and shocking.
And Spike looks like he's so into it. And it culminates in her saying, and you know why I don't do that? Because it's wrong.
And then he's just like, one of these days we're going to have a confrontation.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
He doesn't even say he's going to beat her up. He's just like...
We're going to have a confrontation where I fuck you.
Right.
And then he shoves somebody out of the way and hurts himself, which is funny.
But so, like, she, and then at the end of the episode, when she is to signify her character growth and everything, she's like, you're not going to hurt these people or whatever in the thing. And they're like, why? And throughout the episode, she's delivering this line with no sincerity. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's all faux sincerity, right? And this could easily be a moment where a lesser actress would fall flat. She is so fucking convincing when she says because it's wrong to answer the question. Like it's subtle. It's not like it's not highlighted where it's like a fucking exclamation point on the end or anything like that. It's subtle, but she nails it. The delivery of it, to where it's like you can feel like, oh, she fucking means it.
Yeah. Well, the fact that she was even there to begin with is showing her growth and everything because...
Sure, but I'm talking about the acting.
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No.
I'm just saying, I'm not to interrupt you, but I'm just saying I was talking about the acting ability. Mm-hmm. Like, that the delivery of that line is perfect.
Yeah. So do you want to start going through plot point by plot point?
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice?
Yeah, go ahead. You're in charge.
Okay.
You can dominate this this episode.
Can I now?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where the fucking episode starts. It starts like right where it left off. Where
it starts with Joyce and Buffy / Faith.
Yeah, and like Joyce is talking about how she thinks that Faith, like she's like, what happened to her to make her like this? Like, yes. I don't think that she really is like that inside or something like.
Yeah, because it was Faith in the Buffy outfit, in the Buffy costume, is like, oh, how do you know she's not just like born evil or whatever? Mm-hmm. Some people are just, whatever, they're fucked up. And she's like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Just because of that conversation they had last week, or did she actually know her? I don't remember her really knowing her, so.
I don't either. I don't remember them interacting really at all.
Well, I think she had her over for dinner like a couple times or something. Like I kind of remember at least there was one episode where she was there for dinner.
It does really come across as her being like, well, Faith is so pretty, she can't be bad.
But yeah, so Joyce is talking about, how she believes Faith is actually good. And then, Buffy / Faith in Buffy asked to take her lipstick. And she's like, is that the Harlot one? That's the one Faith picked out. Mm. And Buffy's just like, burn it.
Yeah.
But she liked it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know either. I guess she's like She's trying to cover her tracks.
Yeah, she's like, Buffy would.
She's going overboard, you know?
Yeah, Buffy would say burn it, but Buffy wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, I don't know what Buffy would do in that situation of lipstick choice.
Well, she would choose a lighter lipstick, I'll tell you that.
I guess that's true. She does. That's not anything I've really noticed. That's something you would notice, I guess, but she wears lighter lipstick.
She does. She's got more of a, like, girly prettiness to her, and Faith goes for more of, like, the darker, sultry look.
Sure.
And Faith, as Buffy, puts on a darker lipstick than she would normally wear, and she does her hair all crimpy.
Yeah.
Which is
looks good.
It's very pretty. Like she dresses like Faith, so like she's not trying very hard to act like Buffy, really.
Well, that's what struck me too. Is it's like she really does not care. Like she's not subtle at all. But I don't think Faith can be subtle.
Right. And she uses Joyce's credit card to buy a plane ticket. She's in her purse on her bed, and Joyce walks in. She's like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, getting my mail." She never addresses the fact that her purse and wallet are sitting next to her.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, that would not be enough to throw most people off.
But I guess she trusts Buffy that much. That's part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, she buys a plane ticket to leave the country to, I guess, disappear into the... I suppose that's her plan, is to disappear as Buffy.
Yeah,
she won't be wanted anymore.
She's going to steal her body and disappear where nobody knows her and just be herself in that body, probably.
What luck that she got, close to as hot, like a body close to as hot as she was.
Yeah, for sure. So then she is supposed to go out patrolling, says she's going out patrolling, and instead goes to what the fuck is it called? The Bronze. Because
they talk about Adam. Like, he gets... So, spoilers for this, too. We don't get much Adam in this. We get a little bit. There's a little bit of expansion of whatever the hell he's got going on, but not a lot. And most of it's just like, because she goes to Giles's, and Giles is like, "Hey, fucking Faith," or whatever. And she's like, "Yeah, I kicked her ass. It's cool." And he's like, "Well, the council's here, and they want to take her, so they're going to take her to England." And... Faith as Buffy is like, and what I think is funny too is Anya's like, "So everything's fine then?" And Giles is like, "Yeah, I guess." And she's like, "Oh, thanks for assembling all of us here." She's like, "You interrupted Xander and my day of lighting candles and having sex near the candles."
Did she say that?
Yes.
I don't remember that line. That's an awful line, though.
Yeah, and yeah, because Faith as Buffy's response is. Oh, sorry to interrupt that 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It makes it funnier that 7 minutes is such a specific amount of time. Not 10 minutes or anything. And she has experience. She would know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And that makes it even worse. And Anya says, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, I think that's my hey."
Right? It's an insult against me. Yeah, that is kind of a bizarre thing to call them all together to whatever.
Yeah. They just wanted a scene where they were all together, I guess.
Well, and I guess, so that the actress who plays Anya could get a paycheck.
Right.
Because that's literally like the entirety of her involvement in this episode.
Emma Caulfield, I think her name is.
Yeah.
She was in 90210 as well.
But yeah, so what's her face now? Faith is at the Bronze, dancing with a bunch of dudes. That's where she runs into Spike, too. Mm-hmm. And then she runs into Willow and Tara.
Yeah. And, so before they get there, we get way more hints that Tara is way into Willow. Mm-hmm. We called this previously, but they're sitting there and they're playing like romance music and stuff like that. It's not like overtly romantic, but the music's like real slow and like.
I did not notice that. I think that's new age music, and that's just what it sounds like to you.
I guess
because they're witches. Like new age music makes sense for them.
Sure, but they're sitting and talking and everything, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, but like Buffy doesn't know anything about me, does she? Like I know everything about them, but they don't know anything about me." Because they're talking about Faith and like hiding from Faith and everything.
And she's 100% aware that Buffy is the Slayer. Like, she even says it at some point. So
Yeah, it's like, why isn't she not introducing them then? But I guess she brings it up. She's like, well, look, we have this thing that we've had for a long time, and it's kind of like a group dynamic, and it's all about like slaying and monsters and stuff like that. And I kind of just wanted something that was just mine.
and then
Meaning the
Tara,
relationship,
and then Tara goes, "I am, And Willow's like, "What? Yours?"
Yeah, that's pretty fucking. That's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
she couldn't be more obvious.
I don't know how Willow doesn't get that. If
I
she
think
doesn't,
she does. Like, she lit up, big old smile when she said that.
I mean, yeah. So,
I think she gets it.
I think you think she's going towards that life, but
Maybe.
she doesn't fully realize it. Maybe.
I mean, Faith sure thought so.
Oh yeah, like she completely calls it out. So they go to the bronze, like you said, and Willow's like, "Oh, Buffy's here dancing." Like, like what the fuck?
And like the way Sarah Michelle Gellar sits down on this couch
Yeah,
is exactly the way that Faith would do,
Yeah.
with her feet up on the table and all. And it's like, it's nothing like Buffy.
no,
But I mean, she's like man spread everywhere. Like,
yeah,
Buffy wouldn't do that.
no. It's like I said, it's great. Like it's all the things. It's the little things. It's the big things. Like this is really, really great character work from an actor.
And Willow goes off to get them drinks, I think, and leaves them alone. And she says the meanest shit. She's just like, oh, looks like Willow's not driving stick anymore, huh?
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I wonder what happened to Oz. They were so in love. They had sex all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And Tara's just like looks so sad. And luckily, though,
She says Tara's like she said that he
oh yeah, and she makes fun of her stutter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, no good.
Yeah.
But she is smart enough, strong enough witch, whatever you want to say, to figure out that Buffy was not being Buffy.
It's weird that the one person that does not know her really at all knows that, oh, that's not her.
Yeah, she's like, that wasn't your friend.
Right.
She said her energy was fragmented.
And grating against itself or whatever.
Yeah.
As if something was being forced in there.
Yeah.
So they do an orgasm ceremony.
This is weird. Okay, this is weird.
Now, Joss Whedon wrote and directed this episode. He like obviously he's the creator of the show, he's showrunner, and like the main creative force behind this. But he doesn't direct and write every episode. Obviously, the whole writing room writes the episodes. I don't know if you guys know how television writing works, but basically, there's like, I don't know, it varies from show to show, but say like 7 or 8 writers, and then the showrunner is the quote unquote head writer. One person gets picked to write the show every week, and everyone gives ideas and stuff like that. Everyone's like, hey, so we want to do this, we want to do that. They give like notes and ideas and stuff like that. One writer goes and writes the episode, and they're usually the biggest force behind it, and then brings back the script and everything, and all the writers go through it and they make their changes and they make, we should do this, we should shift this here or whatever, and then it gets formed and stuff like that, right? When the head writer writes an episode like this, it's usually very, very them.
Okay.
It doesn't, they like the underwriters or whatever, the ones that are not the head writers, like the showrunner, they make notes and some changes and stuff like that, but they're not going to make huge changes because it's this guy's show, right? So, I have to wonder how much Joss Whedon wants to see these two women have sex with each other.
Right?
Because, like you said, it's kind of weird.
It's very sexual, the spell they're doing, and it doesn't need to be. For like, the purpose of the spell is not in any way sexual.
No, that's the thing, is like it does come out of the blue, no pun intended, because Tara's basically says like, hey, so I can project you. I think
No, she's going to be her anchor to this plane. She said it's like an astral projection, and I'm going to be your anchor. She's not projecting her. She's holding her safe. Go ahead.
So Willow's projecting herself then?
Yes.
Okay. No, I want you to go through the explanation because you understand.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I think the implication is that she ends up in Buffy's body. I think, or something, right?
That would make sense because simultaneously to this, then Buffy is having sex. So maybe when she went into Buffy, Buffy was having an orgasm?
I guess.
And that's why. But she like immediately like falls down. Like, first of all, both women, they're touching hands and both of them are like heavy breathing. Like,
Yeah.
But then like when the spell does whatever it's supposed to do, Willow falls back but like makes all kinds of orgasm-y noises.
Yeah. And the whole, like I said, the whole thing confused me because it's like I didn't fully get what happened in that scene. Because they cut from that, they cut from the orgasm-y stuff to Buffy, well, Faith
As Buffy.
having finished sex with Riley.
Yeah, because somebody mentions Riley and she lights up like, oh, I forgot she has a boyfriend kind of look.
Right. Yeah. And like he says, I love you. And she like gets up and whatever. And she's like, what do you want from me? Like, you know,
she's like, get off of me. Get off. Stop.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Or she says, what do you want from her?
Yeah.
And when she said that, I wasn't sure if that was Faith speaking on Buffy's behalf or if Willow was in the body and like what the fuck is going on kind of thing. Like, and saying, what do you want with her to the Faith inside?
I think it was Faith speaking.
So then I don't know what the fuck happened with Willow. That we don't ever see it then. We don't ever see what she did. It's just though they didn't do a good enough job, in my opinion, separating those events then.
Yeah. They've been doing a lot of weird things with sex with Riley. Like a lot of weird overlapping story things.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
And it feels like the two things are connected, but they're not really connected. And that's confusing. So I think they could have done with they could have done with a buffer scene or something else.
Yeah.
Between those two things. Like it didn't things weren't 100% clear.
Agreed. Another thing that's happening though, kind of overlapping when she's with Riley, is Buffy as Faith.
Yeah.
Has been taken by the council. She's in this armored car.
Yeah, because she gets arrested when at the house. She gets arrested by the police. And then the council just crashes into the fucking police car, probably kills those cops with an armored truck, and then takes Faith / Buffy.
And she gets taken somewhere and ends up like fighting them. And they're very mean to her. One of the guys spits in her face. Like they treat her really poorly. And I think the juxtaposition is just like, see how people treat Faith versus how people treat Buffy. And then you're seeing like Faith kind of like reacting weirdly to being treated with kindness. Yes,
that's what happens. That's the character growth, I think, is that, like you said, Riley treats her nice and is nice to her and is not like... Because she's like, let's do this. How do you want me? How do you want this body? And she's all on all fours and stuff like that and everything. And he's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And she's like, he's like, what game are we playing? And she's like, what fucking game? I'm Buffy. That's the game we're playing. He's like, okay, I'll be Riley then. And and he's like, it's all like, slow and sensual love, right? And that confuses her.
There's a bug, maybe a spider, crawling in the candle cup over there.
Oh. That reaction was too big for...
I'm sorry.
For as far away as it is. I thought it was on my shoulder.
Hate bugs. It's a beetle or a spider. I can't tell. It crawled to the back, so I can't see. Oh, now it's towards the bottom in the back. Can you see the thing?
Oh, yeah, I see it. That's a fly.
Is it that bug that keeps flying around?
No, it's literally... Oh, wait. No, it's not a fly. Yeah. Yes.
Put something on the top of it so I can't get out. Thank you.
There. Now it's contained. We'll deal with it after the episode.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So it's very much how she's being treated. And she saves a woman from being attacked by a vampire at one point. Don't look at the bug. Focus on what we're talking about.
I'm focused.
I gotta pull her back, everyone. Sorry. At the Bronze, this woman is like being taken by a vampire. Good-looking woman too. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, she's all right.
And she starts getting attacked, and Buffy saves her. And Faith as Buffy saves her. And the woman's like, "Oh my god, thank you so much!" Like, and she's so like grateful to her and everything. And Buffy's like, "Okay, you know."
Yeah, they had to tell her to go get it though. Like
Willow did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Willow like points out, "Oh, that guy's a vampire," and she's just like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
She's like, "Yeah, wow, could you be any more obvious?" And they're just staring at her, and she's like, "Oh, I should slay him."
No, like all on her own, separate from Buffy. She's a slayer,
Yeah, I know.
so you'd think she'd have some kind of, I don't know, drive to do that.
I guess she just kind of gave it up. I
Yeah.
don't know. But, yeah, so then, I guess we can talk about Adam for a minute.
Okay.
Because, you know, Faith's getting treated nicely and all that stuff and everything. Adam shows up at a den of vampires. And they're like, "What the fuck? This is our place." Like, vampires are so dumb.
And territorial.
Yeah, in this show, because they look at this guy clearly like some fucking half man, half robot like entity, and they have no questions. They're just like, "This is our place. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, that's true.
They haven't heard that this guy's eviscerating monsters and shit.
Yeah. Doesn't he use his little pokey thing to like stake one of them?
No,
I could have sworn he did.
he pulls one of their heads off,
Oh.
and he's like, "Decapitation is also a worry of you guys." He's like, "You guys skulk around here in the dark and in the filth of these people and everything. What is it you're afraid of? The cross. You're afraid of the light. You're afraid of, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
The stake." And then he grabs one by the fucking head, pulls it off of him, and he, you know, does the whole like where he dusts. And he's like, "Decapitation is also a problem for you guys." And he's like, "But I've decided what it is. I was bred to kill and everything, but now I'm here to help you." I don't know. It's weird. Obviously, I guess he wants to take over. I don't know what the fuck he wants. It's frustrating because we don't get a lot of him to really care that much about him as a character, and also it's not great that he's just, "I'm generic man," you know, like that's the persona that he's, you know, putting out there.
I think he's supposed to be the big bad. Like, I thought it was supposed to be Walsh, but they killed her.
Yeah.
And I think he's supposed to be the big bad of, like, the
season.
season. So he's going to be hanging around in the background all the time. And I agree. It is fucking annoying. I don't like him.
I agree. I think he is supposed to be the big bad, but I don't like. I wish I could understand his motivation more. You know, like it seems like he's doing things just because, like, "I'm the bad guy. I'm going to do things." You know, it's like I don't know what his motivation is, and like if it's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna help these monsters take over," it's like, who gives a fuck then? Then it's some generic bad guy.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't connect me to this guy at all.
Yeah. I don't like him.
So he's like, "I'm going to help you. We're going to," you know, and they start like listening to him like he's their teacher.
And so then they go and take over a church. And they're holding people in the church hostage.
Yeah. And one of them's like, "What was I so afraid of? Like, you know, I was told God was going to be here. Let's fucking bring him."
Yeah, he's like, "Where's this God?"
Yeah. Adam does bring up one thing that's interesting to me. He was like,
I'm listening to you. Jeez, would you stop? Just continue talking.
he was like, you're demon in a human body, not in this world or that world or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
walking in both and neither at the same time.
And
It was
then-
interesting the way he put it.
But he said that he relates.
Yeah, because he's, I guess, human and not human.
Yeah. Didn't he say that? Or am I crazy?
No, he
I
said
thought he
that.
did. So that's what Faith goes to the airport and sees on the TV, that they're holding these people hostage in a church.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of getting on the plane, she goes to save them, which is really bizarre. And, like, I get she was going through some things in the episode, but it didn't feel like it was enough to make her change her mind and want to go help people?
Yeah.
Do you think?
No. It seemed abrupt to me, too. I thought it would have been interesting if Buffy hadn't freed herself. If Faith did all the ass kicking as Buffy, and then just like, we gotta go rescue Buffy.
Yeah.
But instead, what happens is Buffy rescues herself, and then she goes to Giles, and she's like, "Hey, I'm not Faith," and he's like, "Well, that's not believable." And she's like, "Listen, ask me something. Ask me a question." And he's like, "Who's the president?" She goes, "We're testing for Buffy,
not a concussion."
Yeah. And then she starts saying things like, "You turned into a demon," and like, "It was Ethan Rain," and blah blah, like, and all this other stuff.
I could tell it was you just by looking in your eyes.
Right. And she's like, "My mom thought you a fucking stevedore."
What is that? She asked him that, and he didn't answer her. Do you know what it is?
I don't remember. I think it's like a I don't remember fully. I don't want to even say what I think it is, because if it's wrong, I don't want to be embarrassed. But
so yeah,
it's like a performer. It's a kind of performer. I think.
But yeah, so she's like, "My mom thought that when she was having sex with you."
Mm-hmm.
Like, God, nobody wants to hear that.
Right. So so he realizes it's her because they did the ceremony. Tara and fucking Willow burst in, and she's like, "It's not what it looks like. I'm not Faith," and she's like, "Yeah, you're Buffy." Like we know. They just know They just know, and it's like it makes it seem even kind of dumber doing that scene.
Yeah, because
it's like they know for different reasons. They do two different things where it's like they do the magic like explanation, and then they do the which one's my real dad, situation. Ask me a question only I would know. But the thing that comes out of it is they do conjure up, since Faith broke that device, they do conjure up a thing that will swap bodies back.
And they all go to the church.
Yeah.
And then Buffy and Faith both kill the bad guys and fight each other a little.
Yeah, and then they
swap bodies back.
Yep.
And then Faith just leaves.
Yep.
Buffy doesn't kill her.
She's on the back of she's on the boxcar of a train like a hobo.
Yeah. Which is sad because it's like, okay, so that's how people are going to treat her. And
Buffy's like, "I don't think she's ever coming back." She's coming back.
Yeah.
They wouldn't leave her alive and show her leaving if she wasn't coming back. She also, like, Riley's like talking to her and everything, and she's like, "You slept with her."
Yeah, she's upset. Like, I get being upset with Faith.
Yeah.
Not him. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know it wasn't Buffy.
Yeah. But Buffy is not happy.
I don't think she should be mad at him.
Mm-mm.
And technically, he did have sex with her.
It was her body.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Like, if I'm not going to think of anyone that you wouldn't want to have sex with or whatever. But it's like, if just pick somebody that like it would be gross for you to have sex with. Okay, you don't have to say who it is.
Okay,
but if you had to, would you rather have sex with that person in my body? Or me in that person's body? It's fucking weird, right?
Right. God, I don't know. Either way is violating as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I picked somebody I really hate, so either way it's just... like, it's just disturbing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so... But it was her body, like,
Yeah.
But they made love, so it was also a soul connection too. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Buffy fucked the soul out of Angel, and I think Riley fucked a soul into Faith.
There you go.
But yeah, so that is what happens in the episode.
That is the episode.
That's all the things.
A lot of things.
Carol.
So the ending was not very satisfying.
No.
I don't know why exactly. I don't know what I wanted from it, but...
I wanted Faith to, there's no resolution to her character. Like, she's gone through an arc, but there's no character resolution. I think that's part of it. And the whole thing with Adam, I think, is part of it, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it was a good episode. I just there were just a couple things about it I didn't love.
Yeah. Right.
But that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can find their own soul-swapping device.
You can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Time to go kill a bug.